I pass it on to him? Coffee's an ADHD medicine. Ooh, it's just like a line of Coke. I'm getting addicted. Hey guys. Hello. We all there? Are you there, Lee?
I am here.
Hello, mate. Thanks for spending a bit of time up here with us.
Absolutely loved it. It was good fun.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm going to keep going, but I just want to say to the team, guys, I've just got the figures in last night from Jakey. We had a great November. So very, very blessed, very, very thankful. I know this is this is the painful part. It's not long to go, guys. 3 weeks. You'll really finish the year off strong and set up next year. So many of your competitors are going to put foot off the ball. I just met Batesy a minute ago. I'm like, Batesy, speak to Jack, leave early one afternoon, go for a walk. Just little things you can do to have those little breaks. But I promise you, you will not regret making sure the next 3 weeks. We listed 120 properties last month, and I think we only sold 40 odd, or maybe 50 odd. So that just shows you the amount of stock we're carrying. And if you guys all focus between now and the end of the year, you'll finish off the year nice and strong. So what are you going to talk about today, Lily?
We're going to do our first 90 days for next year, just to get that full brain of what we need to do. And also, I'm going to get everyone to work in chat with me, do an executive summary over our main sequence, which is what's going to drive next year's results. But we'll be definitely having that break, as you just said. But no, really excited about today's session. And I actually believe...
So I love the idea of the... I love the idea of the 90-day plan, and that's what just really, and the one thing I really focus on, and it's good that we're doing it now, but a lot of my next year planning, I do out of normal work time because it's next year, and then I really focus on today. So if I'm walking past any of your desks and things like that, next year plan should be sort of done. It's a Sunday job, or it's before work or after work. I really like what you're doing, Lee, because we do need to set up next year, and it's good to get that habit. But don't forget, we've still got 1/12 of the year to go. 1/12 of the year to go, and so many people switch off, and you're still going to come to work, but you're just mentally not here. If you're going to come to work, you may as well be here. I know I'm going to get off my soapbox, leave you to lead. Have a good day. But yeah, that's...
Now, can I just make sure I can share my...
guys.
Yep, I can. Cool. Okay. Morning, everyone. Good to be with you. And you probably, well, actually, firstly, congratulations. You made this part of the year through one of the most crazy parts of the real estate industry we've seen. So well done to everyone. Now, what I'm going to do today is not try and blow your brain. I'm going to try and take some pressure off your brain and use this session to assist you in what you need to have ready for next year. But if we collaborate together today and use our notes area, so if everyone can open up their chat area, that would be great. And just so I know you know where chat is, could you just say hello to me in chat? That would be wonderful. Oh, look at the response coming in. Audience participation, absolutely amazing. This is fantastic. So, okay, that's enough of those. Well done. So we are going to use this chat area though, because over the last couple of weeks, I've been doing some planning and focus plans for next year with a lot of agents. And the word business plan does a lot of people in. And when I say, and we are recording good, when I say business plan, people think, oh, here we go, a 60-page document that I put in the drawer. I never want to look at again, but it makes me feel like a business person. Yeah, I don't think about it like that at all. And I know myself, when I do my planning, I actually look back in time. And that's one of the first things I want you to write down, not in chat, but just for your notes today. I did this about a week ago, and I was doing an audio with Danny Grant and another gentleman from Brisbane. And between us, we look after about 800 agents on a super coaching level. And you guys are part of that group for me because, as you know, I only work with certain groups at certain times, and you are part of that. So the steps that you take to get your 2023 plan together are really important on a reflective thing. So the first note I want you to do is look at or to take the action, to take some time out and do your year in review. And your year in review is where you're going back through your calendar, because your calendar was the source of truth. It's got every appraisal you did and every listing appointment you did. And I want you to see those as different. So when someone says, if you've just got yourself in a door and you're having a little chat, that's all great. You know, that's like an assessment of a property, an appraisal, to use that industry word. But as you know, I like the word assessment. Whereas a listing appointment is, yeah, we are going on the market. We're interviewing other agents and we'd like you to come out. But I'm just letting you know, we've had other people already present their marketing and so forth. So, you know, it's game on with those particular people. And sometimes we misread that. People say, oh, this is an appraisal, and it's actually a real listing presentation. But when you're doing your, we've got someone there we need to mute. There we go. When you're doing your year in review, it's very important that you get those numbers. How many did you do? I know myself in my year of review, I think I know what I'm doing, but then I look at how many events I did, how many Zooms I did, and then I look at the numbers and think, wow, I don't want to increase anything next year. I just want to keep it calm and stabilize it because I don't want to go over that burnout mark and so forth. So when you're doing your year in review, it's not about add. How can I get another 10, 15%? Sometimes it's like, well, hang on, if I can keep a stable number of those, that would be a good result. But try and find the patterns in your week. I know when I go through my calendar, I start to see the best days of the week. So in your world, Monday and Saturday are gone. You know what those days are. There's no point trying to make appointments or do prospecting on those days. They're gone. But you know, your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday needs those certain appointments. And from me working with you, I can absolutely clarify that 5 is the number. 5 face-to-face appraisal listing appointments a week is a key number in that business. Now, as you do your reflection on the year, how did you go? Were you doing 2 or 3 a week? Were you doing 10 a week? Were you doing 5 a week? But try and find out, and for nobody else's benefit but your own, that last year I averaged X amount per week. And that means you found your groove. Now, if you're only doing 2 or 3 a week, you say, okay, that's where I was. I do need to work out a way to get that to 5. I know some of you in there have gone to like 7 to 12, and you're seeing the results of that, which is great. And then, as you know, that's connected to the next part. So how many appraisals, how many listing presentations, what was your source of truth? Then I want you to have a look into, what was your buyer appointment system like? Was it just random, or did you seem to have certain days of the week that were better for your buyer appointments? So for me, Wednesday was my buyer communications day. What does that even mean? That was my day where I go, okay, I'm going to do as little appointments as I can. I'm going to lock down for a good 3-4 hours and communicate with the purchasing community and know where everyone is. Know exactly how many trade-ins I've got in my marketplace of people looking to buy this one, but they own that one. It's a door I'm going to claim. Now, we've talked about claiming doors, and then you're talking about finding doors. Finding doors becomes really, really important when you're trying to forecast into the future these 5 appraisal bookings you're trying to make. But when you start to see the patterns of your week, you'll go, geez, it seemed, I don't know how your world works, but I seem to personally do a lot of listing presentations into the evening for the area where I worked. Whereas I know in Port, a lot of it's in the day, normal business hours, which is great. I worked in an area where a lot of people work in the city. You had to wait for them to get home at night. So having some time out in that mid-afternoon is what I do, and then I don't have to go back out and present. For most people, they don't have to do that. But I was very clear that if I didn't have a couple of appraisals a couple of nights a week, I was going to be in trouble. Now, I don't know your time, your groove, you will. But if you start to see a pattern that, geez, I always seem to get one on Tuesdays around 2, and then one later in the afternoon at 4. Great. So why not set up your permanent bookings now of a 2:15 and a 4:15? Now try and book those appointments 15 minutes past the hour, because people work to the o'clock. And if you run the 15 minutes breather, everyone seems to be on time because they're still trying to go to the o'clock. But then you're saying, okay, so every Tuesday I need a 2:15 and a 4:15. Every Thursday I need a 2:15 and a 4:15. And I'm going to fit in one on a Wednesday or a Friday morning. And then your week starts to pan out where you say, who is my 2:15 for Tuesday? As you're hitting the phones, you know, great salespeople can see that outcome. And you're not just making phone calls now for the sake of phone calls. You're making phone calls to fill 2:15 and 4:15. And you watch the impact when you have a destination time you're filling versus, geez, I hope I get an appraisal. Hi, it's me. Do you want to sell? And you're having all these useless conversations because there's no direct outcome that you're hitting the phones to fill the 2:15, 4 and 4:15. And what I think is really, really important here is, as people are speaking to you, you'll just start triggering where they'll say, yeah, we wouldn't mind getting you over to have a look. Look, I'm available 2:15 Tuesday. How would that work for you? Yeah, all right. Versus, oh, yeah, when do you want to do it? I know when you want to do it. Okay, I'll get back to you. I'll check my diary, and it never happens.com.au seems to kick in. So having that focus of a date and a time changes everything. So every one of you knows where you're going to be on December 25th. Why? It's booked. You turn up. It's how it works. This is the same thing. It's booked. I turn up. It's how it works. But we know we need to fill those appointments. So that's what we need to do. But I don't want you to go too crazy. I just want you to know how many appraisals you did, how many listing appointments you did, how many buyer appointments you did, and then your focus time at the office where you're doing a productivity blast. Please write down that word, productivity blast. All of you hate prospecting in general. So if you hate prospecting because it's cold, dark, nothing comes from it, and it's boring, it's a lot easier to have a productivity blast for future business. And I think changing the words is the skill of everything. Oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I've got a productivity blast for 2 hours for future business. And what are you doing? I'm going to get 50 connects. No one gets 50 connects in that amount of time. Well, it depends what you call a connect. And let's answer this question. When I say a connect, what am I referring to? Like, yes, a phone call, you answer the phone call and speak to me. That is a connect. We had a real conversation. What's another connect? Coming in the chat here. SMS. Yep, like it, Rosie. Well done. And what's another connect? Your most important connect that you have. Door knock. Fantastic. Love it. Price update. That was the one I was looking for. So if I go in and get 20 price updates out that morning, that's 20 connects that I've had. They've opened it. I've had the text message. I've warmed up the data. I'm doing all the stuff I'm meant to be doing. Then when I reach out in 2 days' time, that connect is on this connect. And all this game is about is connection. Let me repeat that. All this game is about is connection. But you need to know your number of connects every day. Is it 20? Is it 50? I don't know. But now that we've got a blend of opportunity, that a phone call is a connect. My price update is a connect. A text message saying, hey, Rosie, just listed this property. Click on the link. Let me know what you think is a connect. Another connect, and one of my favorites is you grab your phone, hit text, swipe, video. Hi, Greg, great results on the weekend. 5 of our properties sold. And you should all be doing this for all the properties that sell over a weekend because they don't have to be yours as a group. We had 15 properties sell over the weekend. I know you thought the market was down, but all the good homes are selling. I'd really love to speak to you again. Send. There's another connect. How many direct video messages could I get out in half an hour where they don't need to respond? They don't need to ask me a question, but I've been face-to-face with them in a short, sharp, ticky-tock video clip where they go, Lee said they had 15 properties sell over the weekend. This is what's just happened. Our auctions are now doing this. And you can send so many positive video-based messages to people. And you think, we look at our world of real estate, right? You sit around on the phone, getting through to no one and hoping someone is going to ring back your message, you're flat and deflated because, I didn't really get hold of anyone today. I just kept going to voicemail, or I didn't get through to them. Okay, well, let's flip that over. I've just sent 35 face-to-face video messages to people that need to think about me in January. And the fact it's in their phone, they may share it with their partner. They may look at it 1-2 more times again, but there's 30 of my connects. Now I've got 20 price updates out. It's not hard in 2 hours to hit 50 connects if we use a multimedia approach. Hello, what are we thinking here? Does this make sense? Scale of 1 to 10, our connect system, what do we think? Using multiples, not just cold calling, touching bases. Do you want your base touched? I'm the base toucher of Port Macquarie. Please help me out here. So, you'll be playing bingo next if you're touching base. So please, let's look at a multimedia way of doing it. It makes such a difference. Okay, I'm starting to see some stuff come in. Now, in a moment, now that you know how to get 50 connects fast and with a bit of excitement, and I'll just mention a point to my wonderful, brilliant women of the Elders Lifestyle Group. I know at times some of you think, yeah, I don't do that video stuff. I know. Get over it. And it's not about Hollywood video. It's about a communications plan. If this game is only about connection, that's all it's about. And a connection is someone responding saying the price update, I can't believe what those properties are selling for. Congratulations, you're in the game. Connection is when you're in a listing presentation and you do live mode, sell mode, and they go, I really like how you explain that. You've got connection. But one thing I've learned is you can't release content or knowledge if there's no connection, because they won't be on your channel. They won't get what you are saying. So there's got to be a connection. And if the connection starts in our, and I'll bring up the sequence in a moment, and that's when I really want you to take some notes, because as I take you through this executive summary, you're going to go, woo, we just did all that in that one go. But this video is going to be a collaboration of how you put your plan together. So before I share my screen, let's have a quick summary. I want you to do a year in review. I want you to find out how many appraisals you did, to how many listing appointments you did, to how many properties you listed. And these numbers are for you. They're not to show me, Dave or Jake. We're not here to judge anything. You just want to get to the truth. Then I want you to realize that a connection's not just about cold calling. It's about phone calls. And we know we make calls with intent and a reason, we get a better result. But the price update's my other connection program. I can use video-based messaging for my other connections. And it's so powerful to, and you guys have got most incredible areas there of scenery where you can be down on the beach, beautiful background, saying, I'm going to pound out 25 video messages now. Don't do this because I'm on this Zoom with you, but at the end of today's session, go to your phone, contacts, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, which is a long list, and it will tell you your total number of contacts in your phone. And it could be 3,455. It could be 20,000. I don't know what your phone's populated with, but you scroll all the way down to the bottom and you see this big final number, and 10% of those are your future sellers. They're actually in your phone now, because I love that you guys have a database. I love that you've got the price update system to use. But let me tell you, a real record is different. So if I ring Rosie right now, my phone number comes up on her phone. And if Rosie rings me, her number comes up on my phone. Why? It's a real record. How many real records are in your phone? If you just took the time to delete the most powerful database in your world and went, wow, I'm going from A to Z, and I'm just going to see how many brilliant people I could pull out of my phone for February 2023. And you'll be shocked who's in your phone. And it was, the vendor from 5 years ago. Sometimes you think, geez, I don't have them on a price update. There's a little message I could get out. Merry Christmas if you're doing a video Christmas message, but your future business is sitting in your phone. And you think, no, it can't be in the database with the price update. Yeah, it might be as a backup, but your phone's your real records. I know myself, another part of my review that I do each week, I always go through my recents in my phone at the end of the week to see who I need to follow up for next week, if that makes sense. So I'll see that I met with Dave Gray and I met with Brendan, and I go, okay, so there was reasons I did those phone calls or meetings. What's the follow-up of that? But your phone is the flux capacitor of your whole real estate career. It's got the video, it's got the texting, it's got the messaging, it's got the email. You know, where else in the world could you run an entire real estate business? And I'll give you an example of that. And I always mention his name, but it's a name because you know who he is. But if you ask now, right now, Matt Steinwade, Matt, what database do you use? This one. He does it all from his phone. Wouldn't he have Agent Box? Yeah, the team do. He never goes in there. He does it all from his phone. Why? That's his real records. But Matt's working with people that's been in his phone 8 years. When you sell a $12 million waterfront, it ain't off the internet. It was someone who said, I'll only move for waterfront. If you get one on Avoca Beach, I'll buy it. Hey, mate, got one. Have to do it today. Are you ready? Yeah, 12 million. Sold. Thanks, mate. I'll get the paperwork to you. You know, the gold's in your phone, but that's where your real relationships are. All right. So that was my little part on year review. Get your numbers, find your groove, start to get your patterns to your week. And by the way, just to give you all an important part about energy management. Every one of you on this call has different times of the day that you're good. Learn to work to that. I've actually got a coaching group this afternoon, and they are a split. Most of them work really late evenings. That's just, for them, they're just crap in the morning. They don't wake well. I don't know why, but they don't wake well. They're Queenslanders, something's going on. But they're really evening ninjas, and they get a lot of price updates out late at night. You know, they love that 8:30, 9:30 groove time where they might be sitting there with a red wine or something, but they've just pumped out 40 price updates to people they're strategically thinking of. Don't make a phone call, whatever you do. But they just found they're a better night worker, and they keep the mornings to themselves. There's no right or wrong to that. Based on your energy management, you will know your best times of day. For me, I'm a morning person. I'm just sharper in the morning, and then I fade as I get later in the day. You've caught me at the right time here. This is a good thing. So what's your energy management, and what are you going to do? Cool. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And everyone listen up. This is really, really important. I want you to take notes of things that maybe something I'm saying or an action that you think is important based upon where I'm speaking at that time. And then we're going to, with all these notes, we're going to put that back together in our collaboration to say, wow, that person got that out of what Lee said. That person got that out of what Lee said. I'm going to make that part of my plan. But we're going to do our find to sign sequence. Now, everyone knows what our find to sign sequence is. It's where people go, yeah, I'm pretending I know. I don't really know. So please take me through it again. I promise I will. But it's one thing I've really enjoyed working with you all as a group. And by the way, I was up there filming for 2 days on the Elders Lifestyle Group Way. And quite a few of us went into the studio and filmed a sequence that I think is one of the best things ever happened in this country. I really do. And it started off with the introductions, meet the boss, which is a thrill-seeking moment for anyone joining the group when you meet Dave Gray. I don't think no one forgets that day. I didn't. Anyway, we got through that part. And then I went into the model that we built and everything you would do. Also went through the listed to settled process with Wendy of every single action that someone would take. Because I know all of you have joined that team at some point. And how do we sell a house around here? That's a great question, isn't it? How do we sell a house around here? Now, there's the administration process, and you'll get a copy of that audio as Wendy and I go through that, and you'll go, but I know all that. Yeah, so where's your part in all that? So we've just exchanged. It's 2 weeks after exchange, and you're meant to do the I miss you phone call. But what triggers that for you? Does the soul sticker go on and you run onto the next one and they say it's settlement? Oh, I didn't hear from Lee again. I would never use his service ever again. I just saw the fees come out and the buyers wanted to come back through. You know, a lot of people feel disappointed in their agent. So I asked you for next year, what's your sold to settlement process? And your sold to settlement process is your greatest chance of referral. For me, when something's sold, it was like game on. There's got to be 3 more listings in this happy vendor and another 2 from the buyer I gave the red carpet service to. They must know someone right now who's thinking of selling. Why? When you're selling a home, it's all you talk about. It's all everyone asks you about. So your consumer is out there and they go, oh, congratulations, your house is sold. Yeah, no, it was really good. Oh, how was Greg? Oh, he was great. He had this wonderful team with Lauren and Rosie. I'd really recommend him. That's why I asked you, we want to put our property on the market when we're going to reach out to him. You've got to get 5 deals in that time frame, or 5 names or doors in finding doors. But if you flipped your cold calling mentality to we're at the grand final, we've won the grand final, it's exchanged, who do these people know right now that I could assist? And if I was to make that phone call, hi, Rosie, I don't say Leaf Milders, you just bought a house from me. Hi, Rosie, only a couple of weeks to go and you are moving in. Are you excited? Yeah, no, can't wait. We're packing boxes at the moment. Hey, Rosie, grab a tape measure. Let's go down there and have another look. Oh, can I? Yeah, why not? That's Latin for a pre-settlement inspection, isn't it? So on the pre-settlement inspection, that everyone thinks, I'll send admin, that's not important. No, that's my moment to go, hey, Rose, this is a great home. You've made a really good real estate decision here. There's a lot of people that missed out on this one because they thought the market was going to do something different. You'll do well out of this. How's all your friends? And are they coming over to you having a housewarming? You want me there? Only joking. And they go, oh, no, all good. Is there anyone I can help at the moment? Have you got anyone who's thinking of moving? Oh, girlfriend of mine's going through a really bad divorce. Sorry to hear that. Happens a lot. We're here to support. Do you have her number? I'm happy to reach out if you like. Yeah, no, that'd be great if you give her a call. There is gold everywhere in sold to settlement. I won't ask you the question, but I'll ask you the question for your own mind. Here you are now. What would you rate yourself out of 10 for your sold to settlement prospecting communications plan? What do you send? What do you do? What do you have as an asset where people go, geez, that agent was so different to the others. They were just lovely, that team, versus it's sold and I never heard from the agent again, which is what all your competitors do. They hit the sold sticker and then they just run back into the freezing cold touching base area rather than that working in the heat, working in the campaign of the grand finale. So I really hope you take that on board. And I'm now going to share my screen. Here we go. Can everyone see my screen? Give me a wave. Tremendous, you wonderful group of humans. Okay, as you know, there's only 4 segments to our world. We find, we list, we communicate, we sell. And when that ends, we find, we list, we communicate, we sell. Thank God it's simple. I'm not that intelligent, but I can look at that and think that's pretty cool. Now, when we work together, I bring this slide up all the time for you, and I hope it really, really starts to kick in, but this is the time of year to really think about it. Clarity, vision, goals, and objectives. All I want you to do is do your year in review and know what your numbers were and what you'd like them to be next year, but understand how many times you do present a week or did, because that's the truth, and then what you should be doing. And only you need to worry about you. Don't look to the right and this person's doing that, and look to the left and this person's doing that. That's called the noise. Just focus on your own goals for your own reason. Determining a strategy and focusing on it. I'm going to take you through this sequence. You guys are going to put as many notes as you can in chat so that we can grab those essence or actions that we need to go through. And I'm going to do it at a fast pace so that you can just watch that segment of the video and do your whole plan for next year. Let me help you. Don't sit there with a blank pad thinking, oh, I can't do this. I'll help you. Communicating effectively with your identified market. Today, the video bank connections is a connect. The price update is a connect. A door knock is a connect. A phone call is a connect. So if we're going to communicate effectively with our identified market, use the tools you've got. Don't keep looking for another way to do it. You've got everything you need. Just get it happening. Understanding the customer's perspective and priorities. Your consumer out there is concerned about the cost of living. The younger ones are concerned about affordable living. So as the world's going through this turbulent time over the Christmas period, don't send signals of how successful you are. Send signals of how many people you've helped, and be very clear if you are using social or you are using digital ads over the break, because it's after about Boxing Day or 2 days after that, it's the peak time on realestate.com.au. I don't know if you know that, but all the eyeballs go, yeah, Christmas was great. Yep, yeah, see you later. Have fun. We should move. What do you reckon we get for ours? Oh, no, let's hop online and just have a look. We got some time today, have a look. But it's a peak time in that December right through to end of February for the consumer to reevaluate their life. And there's going to be a lot of people saying, we don't need this big house anymore. Why don't we just go to a unit? We don't need this anymore. A lot of people are starting to think about their real estate moves. The only question is, are you on their mind? Do you have a price update in that person's vicinity where they say, well, Lee sent us that thing the other day. Just let's chat with him when we get back next year. You've just got to be on the radar. And then number 5, organising your business to deliver and surpass customer expectations. I would say, for my view of your group and you people, that sold to settlement needs mass improvement. I see it as light and just a settlement gift, and I think there's a lot more could go in there. Because what I did notice, your admin team are sending out checklists, things you need to do before moving, so that's good. So that's warming up your data, but then you've got to have that phone call and connection and make sure each of those are being spoken to. And I know you probably all know, but when I was interviewing Brendan while I was up there, I love the magnet theory where, you know, they're off my chip and chase list, that they're on sign, they've gone live, they're sold. But those ones coming up to settlement, you know, they need a cuddle, they need the love, they need the nurture. But if you can start to expect from my sold to settlement process, I'm going to claim 5 doors per person, what an impact you will have on getting to your final numbers. Okay, get your keyboards ready. This is really important. And we're going to go into the prospecting, pitch and sign sequence. Now, as I do this, so when I bring up a box and claiming doors, you all know what that is, but I want you to type in what's important about claiming doors. So here we go. Number 1, 10-step sequence. And what we're looking for is the things we're going to add into our plan next year. Number 1, claiming doors. Claiming doors, we need 900 consents to get 46 transactions. There is 5 tribes that we go to: established clients, investors, buyers, sellers, orphan data, and then all your unsigned business from every appraisal you've ever done. They are the 5 tribes and the phone calls that we make to them to claim our doors. Once we claim our doors, we got to get them on the price update. You know that. But on the price update, next year, you might put a little video wrap in yours. I love the video Daniel did of the top 5 sales of the area. And McGrath sold this one, and LJ Hooker sold that one. Congratulations to them. And we sold these 2 here. You know, that little top 5 market wrap was just classy. I'd throw that in the price update because I think it's interesting. And that multimedia presence where you are commenting on something or you're discussing something that's going on in the marketplace becomes very, very important. Okay, from there, call and connect. Now, you know they've opened the price update 3-4 times. So suddenly, let's call and connect. Hi, Helen. Lee here from Elders. I sent your price update the other day. Did you receive it? Oh, yes, I did. Can't believe what things are selling for. Mine's heaps better than those. I know, it's got a roof and everything. So, Helen, if you did get an incredible price, where would you be off to? And when do you need to be there? Or why would you go there? And then when do you need to be there? But that call and connect is so important that you are, and remember this, you can type this in, warm up the data. The technique that you've been taught is to have a digital connection, which is our real connection, but then warm up the data, then make the phone call. We make the phone call, and you know the next part, send something. Now, send something. You guys have got your webbook links, your property back on the website, which is your, you know, your website, your home turf. That's where your digital introduction your digital inspection actually lives with the owner. But send something, and for some of you, I'd be sending the links to a timed auction or a timed sale, saying, this is our new international method of selling real estate. We've got our own offers platform. Follow this property. Whoever buys it, they may be buying yours, meaning that type of person is going to be looking for a property like yours. This is a good one for you to check out. And I don't know if you know this, but you probably do, but I'm going to restate it because we're in our planning and thinking stage here. All we do for a job is stimulate people on the thought of moving. That's it. You know, every phone call, every connection, every text of, we just sold this property, click on the link, let me know what you think. You're just trying to stimulate them to go, wow, maybe we should move. And that is why when one house sells in a street, another 3 or 4 come up, everyone goes, oh, now everyone's selling. You've stimulated the street. And we all know that let the house do the heavy lifting when you are working through a street, because that's the time. Working in the heat is what you've been taught. So sending something is, wow, got all these connects, find everyone with a weatherboard house, find everyone who's in that postcode and shoot this link out to them. I've sent a price update, but now price update number 2 is coming out and they're getting used to it. They're like, wow, very, very good. So here's an idea for you. You've noticed the price update's gone out and it's been open 4 or 5 times. In 2 days' time, you could just go, hi, Helen, some great activity in the marketplace. I've sent you a price update. Hope you received it. Could you give me a call, as there's a couple of properties coming on the market off portal I need to discuss with you? Because I know they're trying to go to a 4-bedroom, 2-story brick and tile home with a pool. But instead of trying to ring and connect, I've got the trigger going on there from the price update, video message straight out to them. Another connect. They ring you back. Oh, Lee asked me to call you. Well, now we've gone up to level 9, haven't we? Because it was a request and they don't have to call, but if they do, I'll be ecstatic. But what am I doing? Working the marketplace, getting that stimulation to bring it all together. Okay, your just listed links are another reason to connect. But quite often we used to make that mistake that the only connection you've got is a phone call. So hit those calls, pound them out, 100 cold calls a day. And you know my thoughts on this. I think you can ring someone so much, you'll lose a business. If you're ringing and you've got nothing to communicate, don't make the call. It's not about the bravery award of making calls. It's about making the right calls. And if we're using this sequence, warming up the data, those just listed links are very, very important. And by the way, send a just listed link of another property that's been sold by one of your colleagues. You know, we're a group. Yes, you're their contact, you're their primary agent, but your group is getting great results and you've got to know how to communicate that the group's getting results. Otherwise, you won't get that trade-in from them. Next part of our sequence, book the appraisal. What's our replacement word for appraisal? Does anyone know? Type it in the chat. Now I'm on share screen. I can't see chat, so I'm going to hope someone's done it. And the word is assessment. What's the difference between appraisal and assessment? Technically nothing other than this. Would you be able to get a full assessment done on the property? Well, what's that? It's where we look at what the property would rent for and we get a rental certificate. We look at what it would possibly sell for based on the activity in the marketplace, but we also look at what improvements could be made that would generate more profit. So there's 3 elements to an assessment. But when we're booking that appraisal, that assessment, we're now going to send our pitch presentation. Now, your pitch presentation is wonderful. Only you can make that decision now of, is it going to be the digital introduction version, or is it my proposal? And I'm going to switch off fees and rollout calendar, but put my proposal first so that I can send that. So when I go to number 9 here, when I'm inspecting and presenting, they've already got my proposal. When they say, oh, well, you put all that in writing, I'll just do it for you now. There's only 2 tweaks I need to make. Great. Or I'll have that back to you within half an hour. It's the same link that I sent you. I'll just add in those final things we've done. And you're compressing that time. Now, number 10, I want to give you a tip. Signing the agency agreement. I've noticed this a lot lately, but a lot of agents are, pardon the sirens in the background there. That's how urgent and emergency this is. But when we sign an agreement, there's a great technique I want you to give consideration to. Instead of waiting for the yes, we've decided to go with you, and you say, great, I'll now send you an agreement and that will activate my services. And for those of you that may or may not remember that came up throughout our training this year when I was chatting with Brendan, and Brendan said, yeah, I've had a lady get the price update number 2, and he'd already done the assessment on the property. And then she rang back, I don't know how long it was after that, saying, hi, Brendan, I'm ready to put the property on the market. And instead of doing what we all used to do, okay, I'll come back out and see you, Brendan didn't do that. He said, yep, I'll send you the digital agreement and that will activate my services and we'll get started. And he didn't go back out to the property, because if you go back out to the property, they want to discuss fees, marketing, and all those things. So there's a technique, a very important technique called the leave behind. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can understand what this is. Everyone's got me back on full screen, all good? Okay, let's just check these notes in. Now I can see it. Great. Assessment, thank you. David, you well-trained human. When we look at that sequence, what's something that stood out to you then that you think, I'm going to make that part of my plan? Or what's something you're interested in bringing into your business based upon that sequence? Please write that down. And I'm just going to give you a few moments so we can capture that. And I will bring it back up on the screen so you know what it is. Okay, so you're taking notes, but I went through claiming doors, and I mentioned the 900 gives you 46, and there's 5 tribes that you need to go to. The price update, pretty simple. But question for you, how many would you like to get out a day? What's your goal of price update connects as part of your total connects? But how many of those are you going to get out a day? Then we got our call and connect. So if you're going to be getting 20 price updates out a day, you've got 20 phone calls to make. And you've probably got more than that because there's other people you're chasing anyway. Send something. Are you going to send a webbook link or are you going to send them back to your website? What's your decision? Type it in notes, because this is it. As you see this sequence, picture your bullet points below it. So just picture 2 bullet points or 3 bullet points below each of the sequence, and your plan's done for next year. Send something, webbook, website, text link, just sold of another property. Don't forget that one. Hi, Helen. Notice First National just sold this property. The buyer who bought this one was known to us, and I believe they would have bought yours, and look what they paid. Letting them know about other people's sales is a fantastic thing to do. Get them on price update number 2, your just listed links. Make that another connect for you that I've texted through another link. It's another connection for me today as part of my 50 or whatever you're targeting. Book the appraisal. Make a decision. When you send your pitch, is it going to be a digital introduction? Is it going to be the full proposal? Which one's it going to be for you? Inspect and present. Now let's pick on this one for a moment. In inspect and present, your bullet points below here would be, and let's let me check something there. Everyone had me on screen there for a moment? No. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, we've lost the camera there. I've just noticed that. Sorry, everyone. The main camera just went off, so I'm going to finish this off on this camera. Sorry about that. These things happen. So when you are doing the leave behind, which is that all important moment, when you are doing the leave behind, the owner says to you, Lee, thanks for all your efforts, but we've decided we're going to think it over. We're interviewing some other agents and we'll get back to you. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is put my full quote in writing so you know exactly what it is that I have said to you. I'm going to shoot that over. That's actually our digital agreement. And if you've got any questions on that, you can just fill in, call me about which point it is, and I can give that answer to you. But also, if you make a decision that you'd like to go ahead, just sign the bottom of that. That will activate my services and the team and I will get started. So just so everyone understands what I'm saying here, try and get 20 agreements out there, sitting out there in people's inboxes, waiting for them to click activate services, because you don't have to wait for the yes. But I can tell you what happens is people see it in their inbox and go, I can't delete that because we may be going ahead with elders. And I keep seeing it. I keep seeing it. I keep seeing it. And then they say, right, we've said no to 5 agents. So now stuff it. I'm just going to sign this one. And you'd be amazed when you make it easy to do business with you, that people will actually do business with you because you made it a simple thing to do. Okay. Sorry about losing the camera. So I'm on my studio cam there, the backup camera, just in case. In chat, what was our key learnings from today? We're in our final moments here. What do we got? Let's type it in now, please. Go for it. And I'm looking for answers. What's an action? What are you going to do? Where does it live? Type something in. Who's out there? What do we got? If you've got any questions, feel free to unmute your microphone and I'll answer any questions from this session for you now. Is there anyone unmuted that would like to ask a question? And the crowd went mild. Quiet crew there today. Just remember, it's the end of the year. One foot in front of the other. That's all you got to do. Okay, David, a plan, a sequence, team pews on the same page. Like it. Focus more on sold to settlement. Very, very good. Okay, leave behind the agency agreement, which should be digital, by the way. So the leave behind is the technique, but we're going to do that in digital. Not about bravery calls. It's about the right calls. Excellent, Vincent. We need that connection. I think 3 parts of the assessment is a great idea. Mr. Greg Bates, setting up 10 price updates personally myself, woo, plus sending the full proposal as much as possible. Yeah, don't worry about people going to know what I do, meaning your competitors. Who cares? Focus on the consumer. That's what we need to do. Top 5 videos, price updates, great. Brody, there's more gold than I had realized in between sold and settlement. Utilize that time better. What a great time to reach out. And when I say it's a great time to reach out, that, you know, all the hard work's done. But when you call someone and say, how do you feel? You know, that's very different to what are your fees? What are your marketing? Where's it all going? And a very important part of what we're doing. I love how it sits in the inbox, top of mind. Yeah, Batesy, this is a great one. So this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Someone sent me an agreement on something, not real estate. And I just wouldn't stop looking at it, but I couldn't delete it because if I am going to sign it, I've got to leave it there and I've got to find it. And I wasn't convinced. And then at the end of it, I stuff it. That'll do. That'll be fine. So being top of mind is to be in their inbox. And because it's a signed document, it's not your normal email, you'd be amazed how many come back. And if you're presenting five to 6 times a week, it's not going to be long before you got 50 agreements sitting out there. But what a conversation. Unsigned business. Yeah, I've got 50 agency agreements sitting out there right now. Well, even at 10,000, that's $500,000 in fees of unsigned business on an authority that you've got right now. That is phenomenal way to have them out there. Okay. People slowing up there. Here we go. Who should be doing the pre-settlement inspections? Yourself. If you're the agent and this is your future business, and by the way, when you do a pre-settlement inspection, claim that door, put them on a price update, and you say, when I get back to the office, I'm going to shoot you a price update because since you bought this, sales have happened around you, and you'd be amazed what's going on in the marketplace. And then I'm going to update that every 6 months. If you've got any questions or you need any tradespeople for repairs, just let me know. And, you know, start this massive, wonderful connection partnership on the settlement. Don't you think, oh, that's settled, give them the keys and give them the gift and get out of there. No. How many other people do they know that they could connect with you? And I just see, I look at the Australian real estate industry and they say, oh, I'm short of listings. Now, you suffer from leakage. You've got no established client campaign. You don't take settlement as a grand final. You think it's just below you and I'll send somebody else out. It's such an important moment. how you make them feel to get that result when it comes out. All right. And that brings us up to the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are spot on time. This is going to be a very important video for you to go back through. You've got the sequence, you've got the tools. Thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you next year, because that was my final session with you today. But looking forward to getting up there face-to-face, being with the team, and also showing you the new Elders Lifestyle Group Way, which is going to be a great custom digital training program that you have. So thank you very much. I will see you next year, and have a wonderful Christmas and break. Speak soon. And there's my wave. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.